Chosen one, listen closely, son. This Friday will not be ordinary. Something sacred is about to happen. Heaven has chosen this moment to visit you in a way you will never forget. You felt it, building all week. The strange stillness in the air, the restlessness in your spirit, the sudden awareness that something unseen is drawing near. That's not your imagination. That's the presence of God preparing to manifest around you. This Friday carries a divine appointment written before time began. You might not know where it will happen or how, but your spirit already knows. The weight you've been feeling is not pressure, it's presence. Heaven has been arranging your atmosphere, cleansing your field, and preparing your heart for what's about to descend. You will notice it in subtle ways first. The peace that doesn't make sense. The warmth that rises from nowhere. The tears that come without sadness. These are signs of visitation. God is moving closer. Chosen one. Not to test you, but to touch you. This is not just another day on the calendar. It's a day of activation. The kind of day when heaven stops time just long enough for your spirit to remember what divine alignment feels like. Everything in your life that has been delayed, held back, or hidden is about to shift into motion. On this Friday, expect divine encounters, not through noise, but through stillness. Expect signs that speak directly to your heart. Expect sudden peace after confusion. Expect clarity where there was fog. You won't have to search for His presence. It will find you. God has heard every prayer, seen every tear, and felt every moment of exhaustion. This is His response, a wave of presence so undeniable that even your environment will feel lighter. The spiritual tension that surrounded you will break. The weight that held you will lift. The answer that seemed far away will draw near. Chosen one, prepare yourself. This is not the time for fear, distraction, or doubt. This is the time to be still, to listen, to open. Because when heaven chooses a moment, all creation pauses to honor it. This Friday will not simply pass, it will mark you. You will remember it, not for what happens around you, but for what happens within you. God is not coming to give you something external. He's coming to awaken something eternal. When His presence comes, your heart will know. The atmosphere will shift. The silence will speak. And in that stillness, you'll realize this isn't just a visitation. It's transformation. So clear your space, quiet your mind, and whisper to heaven, I'm ready. Because this Friday, God will be present. And once He moves through your life, nothing will ever be the same again. Chosen one, there are moments in time when heaven bends closer to earth, when divine energy saturates the air, and your spirit feels it before your mind can explain it. This Friday is one of those moments. It's not just a date on a calendar, it's a frequency, a pulse, a spiritual alignment designed by God Himself. Everything that's been still, silent, or delayed in your life is about to move because heaven has chosen this day to breathe over your atmosphere. You may have noticed how strange the week has felt. The nights heavier, the mornings quieter, your emotions more sensitive than usual. The world around you seems unchanged, yet something in the unseen has been stirring. That uneasiness you've been feeling isn't anxiety, it's anticipation. The spiritual realm is aligning to release something specific for you. God's presence has been drawing near, preparing to meet you in a moment that will redefine your season. Heaven speaks through patterns, and you've been seeing them everywhere. Numbers repeating, familiar songs playing at random, words echoing in conversations that feel like confirmation. None of it is coincidence. It's preparation. The prophetic energy surrounding this Friday is the culmination of months, even years of hidden work. Everything you've endured, every delay, every tear, every lonely night, it's all been leading to this divine intersection. When God marks a day, He doesn't announce it through thunder. He announces it through stillness. That's why the air feels different right now, why you're being pulled inward, away from distractions, away from noise. It's heaven's way of calling your spirit into alignment. God is saying, "Be still, I'm coming closer." You'll feel the shift, not in your surroundings, but in your heart first. A deep calm will start to rise. Things that used to trigger you will suddenly lose their power. Conversations that once frustrated you will no longer drain you. Your spirit will start detaching from what's temporary and connecting to what's eternal. That's how you know the divine presence is near. Peace always arrives before breakthrough. This Friday carries a sacred vibration, one that can't be replicated or missed. Heaven has been preparing you for it quietly, softening your heart, cleansing your energy, and clearing your space. You may have felt the urge to organize your home, to release clutter, to rest more, or to spend time alone. Those impulses are divine direction. God is sanctifying your surroundings because His presence is too heavy to rest where chaos still lives. Chosen one, this is not about superstition or luck. This is about divine timing. Heaven has chosen this day because your frequency finally matches your destiny. The version of you standing here now is not the same one that prayed for this moment months ago. You've been refined, you've been strengthened, you've been made ready. As the hours unfold, stay aware. You'll begin to sense waves of warmth, bursts of clarity, moments where your spirit feels like it's glowing from within. That's heaven, brushing against your energy field. That's the Holy Spirit confirming that you are in divine alignment. You won't need to chase this experience. It will find you naturally, like light touching the surface of water. And when it comes, everything will feel synchronized. Your thoughts, your emotions, your surroundings. You'll feel like time has slowed, like every sound has softened, like peace has a heartbeat. That's what divine presence feels like. It's quiet, but it commands everything. This Friday will be the beginning of a new rhythm in your life, one where your spirit moves with heaven instead of against it. Don't try to force anything. Don't question what you feel, just receive it. The prophetic energy around you is real. God is present, and He is rewriting your atmosphere in real time. What you'll experience will not fade after the day ends. It will mark you permanently. You'll begin to move differently, think differently, and see differently. Because once you've felt the nearness of God, you can never go back to normal again. Chosen one, this Friday will not just pass. It will pass through you. And after it does, the light within you will never dim again. Chosen one, when God draws near, the atmosphere around you begins to change long before your eyes can see it. His presence doesn't always arrive with thunder or flashes of light. Sometimes it comes quietly, through small shifts that whisper, "I'm here." The human mind may not recognize it, but your spirit always does. It knows when heaven is close. It feels it like warmth in your chest, like pressure behind your eyes, like stillness that suddenly feels alive. Before divine visitation, your environment begins to respond to God's movement. You might notice the air feels heavier, yet somehow peaceful. Time seems to slow, and moments that once passed unnoticed begin to carry meaning. The smallest things, a bird singing at dawn, a conversation that touches something deep in you, a tear that falls without sadness, they all begin to feel sacred. That's because heaven is speaking through the ordinary. God is reminding you that He's not far away. He's woven into everything. One of the first signs of His nearness is heightened sensitivity. Your emotions become sharper, your awareness deeper. You start feeling things you can't explain. The movie you've seen 10 times suddenly makes you cry. A random word feels like a message. A stranger's kindness breaks you open. These are not coincidences, they're confirmations. When God comes close, He softens the heart first, because only a tender heart can perceive divine presence. Then comes the disruption of routine. Suddenly, your plans shift. People cancel meetings, appointments move, circumstances rearrange without warning. You may feel frustrated at first, but heaven is clearing your schedule for an encounter. God doesn't want to compete with your busyness. He wants your stillness. Every interruption is an invitation. Every inconvenience is an orchestration. Another sign is spiritual agitation before peace. Right before a visitation, your spirit may feel reckless. You may sense tension, confusion, or a sudden emotional wave that seems to appear from nowhere. Don't misread it as spiritual attack. It's a divine stirring. Heaven is shaking off what's heavy, so your spirit can rise into higher frequency. It's like the atmosphere preparing to receive lightning. The pressure builds before the spark descends. You may also start experiencing synchronicities, numbers repeating, dreams that feel more vivid, verses or messages repeating from different sources. You'll hear the same phrase multiple times from unrelated people. That's God aligning every frequency around you so your spirit knows this is not coincidence. This is coordination. The universe itself bends when heaven prepares to move. And then, chosen one, comes the moment of divine calm. Everything suddenly quiets. The thoughts that once raced slow down. The anxiety that once filled your chest disappears. You may find yourself sitting in silence, doing nothing, yet feeling completely at peace. That's not emptiness, that's presence. God is not outside of you in that moment. He's within you. The stillness is Him. Sometimes His nearness manifests through memory. He will bring back forgotten moments, old prayers, or people from the past, not to reopen wounds, but to reveal healing. When He comes near, He restores perspective. You begin to see how every delay, every heartbreak, every twist in your journey was part of divine design. It's His way of saying, you were never alone. And then comes the most undeniable sign, alignment without effort. Things begin to fall into place naturally. Emails arrive with opportunities you didn't chase. Conversations lead to breakthroughs you couldn't plan. Your energy feels magnetic, your intuition sharp. That's how you know heaven is near. Divine presence always brings divine flow. Chosen one, God's nearness is not just a feeling, it's a frequency. It recalibrates everything around you. You'll know when it's happening because you'll start recognizing grace in the smallest moments. The frustration that once consumed you will turn into gratitude. The weight of waiting will turn into wonder. This Friday, pay attention. The signs are already showing. The stillness, the synchronicities, the peace that makes no sense. Heaven is walking into your week. Don't rush, don't force, just receive. When God draws near, He doesn't need to announce Himself. His presence transforms everything it touches. You won't just sense Him. You'll become the place where He rests. Stay open, stay aware, stay present. Because before this Friday ends, you will know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that God is near. Why heaven chooses specific moments for visitation. Chosen one, heaven does not move randomly. God does not appear by chance. Every divine visitation is written into your timeline with perfect precision. Not a second too early, not a moment too late. When He chooses to draw near, it's because everything inside and around you has reached spiritual alignment. Every lesson, every loss, every act of obedience, every silent prayer has brought you to a frequency that heaven can now meet. You see, God's timing isn't about the clock, it's about readiness. He waits until your heart is stable enough to receive without fear, humble enough to recognize His hand, and strong enough to sustain what He's about to release. Before the blessing arrives, your character must be refined. Before the miracle manifests, your mindset must expand. That's why He sometimes hides Himself, not to abandon you, but to prepare you. Think back on your journey. Remember the times you felt forgotten, when your prayers seemed unanswered, when silence echoed louder than faith. Those weren't wasted seasons. They were calibration. Heaven was fine-tuning your frequency, training you to hear in stillness, teaching you to trust when nothing made sense. Because when God finally reveals Himself, it's not to impress you, it's to empower you. Heaven chooses moments for visitation when your faith has matured beyond needing proof. That's the secret. When you no longer chase signs, that's when they appear. When you no longer demand miracles, that's when they unfold naturally. Because faith that rests instead of wrestles is the kind of faith heaven can inhabit. God doesn't reward panic, He responds to peace. That's why divine presence rarely visits in chaos. It comes in quiet. It arrives when your energy stops striving and your soul stops begging. It comes when you stop asking when and start saying thank you. The shift happens the moment you stop searching for evidence and start embodying belief. Heaven doesn't wait for perfection. It waits for surrender. This Friday has been chosen for a reason. Not because of the date, but because of your growth. You have walked through fire without losing your softness. You have waited in silence without losing your song. You have carried faith even when your hands were empty. Heaven noticed, and now the conditions are right. The inner and outer worlds have aligned. The preparation has caught up with the promise. When heaven selects a moment for visitation, it's because a divine equation has been fulfilled. Your faith, your endurance, your obedience, and divine timing finally harmonize. The angels that once stood still begin to move. The energy around you becomes charged. The plans of God, long written in eternity, begin to unfold in real time. Chosen one, divine timing is never about convenience. It's about convergence. Everything must meet at the crossroads of purpose, your spirit, your lesson, your readiness, and heaven's will. That's why you could not rush this moment, no matter how hard you tried. Every unanswered prayer was a thread leading to this one tapestry, the encounter that will make everything else make sense. When God chooses to visit, He does so with purpose. He doesn't appear to comfort your flesh. He comes to awaken your spirit. His presence resets your trajectory. It restores clarity, direction, and strength. After visitation, you'll notice that confusion fades, fear dissolves, and your intuition feels sharper than ever. It's because divine presence doesn't just bless, it upgrades. And when He moves, it's unmistakable. The heaviness breaks. The doubts fall silent. You feel weightless, peaceful, present. The noise of the world fades, and only one truth remains. God is here. So don't be surprised if this Friday feels like déjà vu, familiar yet divine. That's because your soul remembers this moment from before you were born. Heaven wrote it into your story. You are walking into prophecy fulfilled. Chosen one, heaven doesn't choose random days to visit. It chooses divine intersections, moments when your obedience, your healing, and your faith align so perfectly that God can finally say, now. And now is here. How to prepare for a day of divine presence. Chosen one, when heaven prepares to visit, your role is not to chase the divine, it's to make space for it. God's presence doesn't enter where there's clutter, noise, or constant striving. It settles where there is stillness, expectation, and purity of heart. This Friday will be a sacred encounter, and preparation is not about performance. It's about positioning. The divine doesn't need perfection, it needs permission. Start by quieting your environment. The days leading up to this moment are not for distraction or chaos. Silence will be your sanctuary. Turn down the noise of the world, the endless scrolling, the pointless conversations, the external validation, and listen for the frequency of heaven. You'll hear it in the pauses between thoughts, in the breath you take without noticing, in the calm that arrives when you stop forcing everything. That's where God dwells. Next, clear your space physically and spiritually. Tidy your surroundings, light a candle, or simply open a window and let new air in. These small actions carry symbolic weight. They tell heaven, I'm ready for something new. God honors intention. He reads the language of preparation. Every moment you set apart for peace becomes a landing ground for His presence. Prepare your heart by releasing what's heavy. Don't carry resentment, fear, or guilt into divine visitation. Confess them silently. Let the tears fall if they come. God isn't asking for strength. He's asking for honesty. When your heart empties, His Spirit fills it. The broken become the most available for blessing because their walls are finally down. As the day approaches, you may feel emotions rise unexpectedly. Old wounds resurfacing, dreams replaying, people from the past crossing your mind. Don't suppress it. This is heaven, detoxing your spirit. God is clearing emotional space so you can feel His presence without interference. Every release is sacred. Every ache that returns is being healed under divine light. On the morning of this Friday, wake up slowly. Don't rush into tasks or noise. Breathe deeply and speak softly to your own soul. I am ready for heaven's touch. These words are not ritual. they are resonance. When your voice aligns with divine intention, the atmosphere around you shifts. Carry peace like perfume. Walk gently through your day, as if you are hosting something holy, because you are. The divine doesn't always announce its arrival through spectacle. Sometimes it brushes past you in an ordinary moment. A breeze, a song, a smile, a sudden warmth in your chest. Don't overlook these small visitations. Every one of them is a whisper of the eternal. Keep your awareness open. The presence of God is not limited to a church or ritual. It can find you while you're driving, while you're cooking, while you're sitting in silence. Heaven meets you wherever you are willing to be still. You are not waiting for God to descend from the clouds. He is already surrounding you, waiting for your spirit to notice. Gratitude is your final preparation. Throughout this day, whisper, "Thank you." Thank Him for the wait, for the struggle, for the lessons, for the strength to endure. Gratitude doesn't attract presence, it reveals it. The more thankful you are, the more clearly you see how close He already is. And when the moment comes, when the stillness deepens, when your chest feels light, when you sense the air shift, don't speak, just breathe. God doesn't need words, He needs awareness. Let your silence become your worship. Let your peace become your prayer. Chosen one. Heaven is not coming to visit a stranger. It's returning to a place it's always belonged, your heart. Every preparation you make, every distraction you release, every whisper of gratitude, they are not for Him, they are for you. You are making yourself ready to experience what's already around you. This Friday, walk softly. Stay present. Expect nothing, but be open to everything. Because when heaven finally fills the room, it won't feel foreign. It will feel like home. You'll know the divine presence has come because peace will wash over you like water, and you'll realize God didn't come from afar. He awakened from within. What happens when God enters your atmosphere? Chosen one, when God enters your atmosphere, the shift is undeniable. It doesn't arrive with noise or chaos. It comes as peace that feels alive. It's the kind of calm that silences the loudest storms inside you. Suddenly, the thoughts that used to race slow down. The tension you carried in your shoulders releases. The ache in your heart begins to fade. The presence of God doesn't announce itself through fear. It reveals itself through peace. When heaven steps into your space, every other energy must bow. Anxiety loses its grip. Confusion dissolves. Darkness retreats. The frequency of divine presence is so pure that nothing impure can coexist with it. That's why the moment feels lighter. You're literally standing in a higher vibration. The air changes, the room feels wider, even your breathing deepens. This is not imagination, this is divine resonance. The Holy Spirit doesn't visit to decorate your emotion, He visits to transform them. You'll feel conviction where there used to be denial, comfort where there used to be despair, clarity where there used to be fog. He speaks without sound, yet every word is heard inside your soul. Sometimes it comes as a thought that interrupts your worry, a phrase you didn't think yourself, something like, "It's okay, you're safe now." That's how God talks when He's near, not to your mind, but to your essence. When divine presence fills the atmosphere, everything aligns with truth. Time feels slower, as if eternity has pressed pause just for you. You may find tears streaming without reason. Don't hold them back. Those are not tears of sadness, they're release. Your spirit is remembering what peace feels like. It's the soul's reaction to divine proximity. Every wound that's been waiting to be touched finally finds healing in that light. This is also the moment when you'll sense revelation unfolding quietly. Questions that have haunted you for months will start answering themselves. Situations that made no sense will suddenly reveal purpose. You'll realize why the waiting was necessary, why certain people left, why God closed doors you begged Him to open. In His presence, everything hidden becomes clear. Confusion can't survive where truth reigns. And something else happens. Your energy field changes. When divine presence fills your atmosphere, it rewires your frequency. You'll notice that your thoughts become lighter, your words slower, your reactions softer. People around you will feel it without knowing why. They'll say you look different or seem peaceful. That's the residue of divine contact, the glow of having been in heaven's current. Sometimes the visitation manifests through nature responding. The wind shifts direction, birds sing louder, light breaks through clouds, just as you're praying. The universe recognizes its creator and mirrors his arrival. Everything around you bows in quiet awe, as if creation itself knows God has entered this space. The moment is intimate, sacred, and deeply personal. You'll know it's Him because there's no fear, only awe. The kind that humbles you, quiets you, and makes you want to stay still forever. That's how you know you're not imagining it. Fear demands reaction. Divine presence invites rest. When God enters your atmosphere, your spirit remembers who you are. The doubts that haunted you lose their voice. The labels people placed on you fall away. In that moment, identity is restored. You are not your past, your pain, or your performance. You are presence itself, the image of the divine. After this encounter, the world will look the same. But you will not. The energy that fills you will remain long after the moment fades. You'll move differently, speak differently, pray differently. You'll start to notice divine alignment in ordinary places. Because once heaven touches your life, it leaves fingerprints everywhere. Chosen one, when God enters your atmosphere, He doesn't come to visit. He comes to stay. What begins as a moment becomes a habitation. You'll find Him in silence, in laughter, in the smallest details of your day. You'll carry His frequency wherever you go, turning every space into sacred ground. This Friday, when you feel that presence, that warmth, that stillness, that peace that feels alive, don't rush it, don't analyze it. Just breathe and let it fill you. That's heaven meeting earth inside you. You are not just experiencing divine presence, you are becoming a vessel of it. And from this day on, everyone who crosses your path will feel the echo of God that lives within you. Chosen one, this is the season when prayers that once felt forgotten begin to take form before your eyes. You may not realize it yet, but heaven has been working behind the scenes on everything you asked for in faith. What felt like silence was not rejection, it was incubation. God was not ignoring you. He was aligning circumstances, shaping hearts, and clearing paths so the answer could arrive in its fullness, and not before its time. Every prayer you whispered through tears, every night you fell asleep wondering if He heard you, every why that never got an answer, none of it vanished into emptiness. Each word you spoke in faith became a seed in the divine timeline. And now those seeds are breaking through the soil. You are entering the season of visible manifestation. You'll begin to notice the shift first through confirmation. Something in your day will echo what you prayed for long ago, a phrase, a sign, a person's words that mirror your hope. It will feel like déjà vu, but it's not coincidence. It's heaven's way of saying, it's time. You are standing under an open heaven. The waiting season is turning into a harvest season. Understand this. Manifestation doesn't always arrive in grand gestures. Sometimes it starts quietly. A new opportunity, an apology that heals a wound, an unexpected peace that settles in your heart. These are the first fruits of answered prayer. God releases the tangible only after He strengthens the invisible. The change within you was the first miracle. The external evidence is simply the echo of that transformation. When prayers begin to manifest, you'll notice that what once felt impossible now feels effortless. Paths open without struggle, conversations flow naturally. Connections appear at divine timing. You no longer have to push, you only have to flow. That's the rhythm of answered prayer. When heaven moves, resistance disappears, and as blessings begin to show up, you'll also notice a subtle humility rising in your spirit. The old version of you might have wanted to show the world your breakthrough, but this version knows. Divine manifestation is not for display, it's for stewardship. God gives so you can guide. He blesses so you can bless. He answers not to elevate your ego, but to expand your assignment. There will be moments when gratitude overwhelms you, when you see something unfold exactly as you once imagined, and realize that every delay, every detour, every heartbreak was part of the divine choreography. You'll feel the truth settle deep in your soul. Nothing was wasted. The manifestation of long-awaited prayers also brings testing of posture. How you handle the blessing determines what comes next. God will watch how you treat the answered prayer, whether you cling to it in fear or hold it in gratitude. Remember, what He gives is sacred. Protect it with humility. Guard it with wisdom. Share it with discernment. Sometimes, the manifestation won't look like what you expected, and that's part of the miracle. The package may differ, but the promise will be the same. You'll realize that God didn't give you what you wanted. He gave you what you needed to fulfill destiny. The outcome will not flatter your flesh. It will feed your faith. Chosen one, as your prayers unfold, you'll feel time accelerate. The answers that once took years will now appear in sequence, one after another. It will feel like heaven catching you up, and it is. Divine timing always redeems lost seasons. God is not late. He is precise, and when your alignment meets His plan, everything moves with supernatural speed. Take a moment to recognize the sacredness of this transition. The same tears that once watered the ground of your faith have become the rain that births your harvest. The same loneliness that broke you became the soil where wisdom grew. Everything you endured was necessary to handle what's now manifesting. And when you begin to see the evidence, the doors opening, the peace returning, the love appearing, the opportunities aligning, remember to pause and thank Him before telling anyone else. Divine manifestation is intimate before it's public. God reveals in private what He intends to glorify in due time. This Friday's energy carries the vibration of answered prayer. The presence you will feel is not just comfort, it's confirmation. Heaven is saying, look around, chosen one. What you prayed for has already begun. Don't rush it. Don't question it. Just receive it. Let your gratitude speak louder than your words, because the same God who once taught you to wait is now teaching you to witness. Your prayers are no longer waiting in heaven's archives. They're unfolding in your atmosphere, and as they do, you'll understand why it all had to take this long. The answer was never delayed. It was being designed to fit perfectly into this moment. Chosen one, there comes a sacred moment in every divine journey when heaven stops whispering, wait, and begins to declare, now. It doesn't come as a shout or an external sign. It arrives as an inner certainty that no longer needs proof. You'll wake up one morning and feel it in your spirit. The atmosphere has shifted. What once resisted you now flows. What once felt distant now stands before you. The waiting season is over. The release has begun. You'll recognize this moment not through emotion, but through peace. When the Spirit says, it is time, fear loses its voice. The anxiety that used to accompany your steps disappears. You'll start moving without hesitation because your soul no longer questions what it knows. It's not pride, it's divine synchronization. Every fiber of your being begins to move in harmony with heaven's rhythm. You are no longer striving, you are aligned. This confirmation doesn't always look like open doors. Sometimes it starts with a sudden knowing that certain doors will never open again, and you're finally okay with that. That release itself is the sign. When God closes a chapter without your resistance, it means your spirit has matured. You've learned to trust His no as deeply as His yes. That level of surrender unlocks divine timing. When the Spirit confirms its time, everything begins to echo that truth around you. You'll hear it in songs, in conversations, in random phrases that strike your heart like lightning. You'll feel drawn toward new directions without explanation. People will start showing up who align with your next level, not by accident, but by assignment. Heaven reorganizes your surroundings to reflect your readiness. And yet, there's a quietness in this moment, because divine timing doesn't require announcement. The ones who truly walk with God don't need validation to move. You've spent seasons proving your faith through patience. Now God will prove His faithfulness through movement. The time of internal warfare is closing, and the time of external unfolding is here. When the Spirit says, it is time, your body will feel it before your mind understands it. You'll sense lightness where there used to be tension, confidence where there used to be hesitation. Even your sleep changes. Dreams become vivid, prophetic, filled with symbols of movement, water, or light. That's heaven's language telling you that manifestation is underway. The enemy will try to plant doubt in this transition, whispering, "Are you sure?" But by now, you've learned to discern the difference between temptation and testing. When God says move, hesitation becomes disobedience. The moment you feel that inner confirmation, respond. Not out of pressure, but out of peace. Every divine opportunity carries an expiration of grace. Timing matters. Heaven's doorways are windows of light. You must walk through them while they're open. You'll also notice divine acceleration. What took years before will now take days. Projects, relationships, and ideas will fall into place effortlessly. It's not coincidence, it's convergence. The Spirit has synchronized heaven's plan with your earthly timeline. You've caught up to what was always waiting for you. This is what happens when faith and timing finally collide. And as you move, humility will be your anchor. God didn't accelerate you to impress others. He did it to fulfill destiny. Don't rush to broadcast what's happening. Stay quiet until the roots of your blessing are strong enough to survive visibility. Heaven rewards obedience with opportunity, but it tests wisdom through silence. Chosen one, when the Spirit confirms it is time, everything you've endured begins to make sense. The silence, the fire, the waiting, all of it was preparation for this moment. You'll look back and realize God wasn't late. He was aligning eternity with your capacity. Every delay was a disguise for divine perfection. Now is not the time to doubt. It's the time to move. Step forward with steady faith. The path may still look uncertain, but that's how miracles unfold. Every step you take in obedience becomes a bridge where there used to be air. Heaven builds as you walk. Listen closely, chosen one. That stirring you feel tonight, that peace that doesn't make sense, that sudden urge to act, that unshakable calm, it's not random. It's God confirming His word over your life. The Spirit is saying, go. It's time. Move with grace. Move with trust. Move with the quiet confidence of one who knows that heaven itself is walking beside them. And as you do, every locked door will open, every heavy heart will lift, and every unanswered prayer will reveal the reason for its delay. Because when God says, now, the universe must obey. Chosen one, heaven always rewards obedience. Not partial obedience, not delayed obedience, but the kind that moves even when understanding hasn't arrived. You didn't just wait, you trusted. You didn't just believe, you stayed faithful when faith no longer felt comfortable. That is what sets you apart. And now, the season you've been sensing, the one that felt just beyond your reach, is here. This is not random favor. This is the harvest of every yes you whispered in secret, every tear you offered as surrender, every quiet decision to choose God's will over your own. Obedience doesn't always look powerful at first. Sometimes it looks like walking away when your heart still longs to stay. Sometimes it's deleting the number, closing the door, staying silent when your ego wants to speak. Heaven sees those moments, the ones no one applauds, the ones that break you open but keep you aligned. God remembers every sacrifice that preserved your soul. That's why this reward isn't about luxury. It's about legacy. When you obey divine timing, heaven entrusts you with divine responsibility. God doesn't just bless you, He promotes you. He places more light in your hands, more authority in your words, more grace in your path. You begin to notice that what once drained you now obeys you. Your peace becomes power. Your presence begins to carry a weight that changes atmospheres. That's not pride, that's anointing, revealed through obedience. You may not see the full picture yet, but doors are already opening that you didn't even know existed. Relationships that faded are being replaced with partnerships that carry purpose. Opportunities that once ignored you are now calling your name. You won't have to chase them. They'll recognize your obedience before you speak a word. Heaven marks those who say yes when no one else will. The reward for obedience is not always visible first. It's internal. Your discernment sharpens. Your peace deepens. Your confidence in God becomes unshakable. You start moving through life with quiet authority because you've learned that obedience is its own protection. You no longer fear loss because you've seen what God builds when you let go. You no longer crave validation because you've heard heaven's voice say, "Well done." And then, slowly, the external follows. What was delayed begins to rush toward you. Resources appear. Provision flows. The people meant for your next chapter step into your life at divine speed. It's as if everything you once fought for is now fighting to find you. That's the paradox of obedience. When you stop forcing outcomes, God delivers fulfillment. Chosen one, this is not random breakthrough, this is divine repayment. You survived tests designed to break others. You passed trials that required blind faith. You stood still in fire until heaven called you forward. Now every unseen yes becomes visible favor. Every moment of surrender becomes supernatural acceleration. Every time you trusted God instead of your plan, you built a bridge to this exact moment. But remember this truth. The reward of obedience isn't meant to end with you. God blesses you to bless others. He elevates you so that your life becomes evidence that obedience still works. You are not the conclusion of this miracle. You are the continuation. Heaven will use your story to remind others that patience is never wasted and surrender never goes unseen. The greatest reward isn't the blessing itself. It's who you've become because of it. You are no longer the same person who started this journey. You are refined, radiant, and fearless. Your obedience has rewritten your spiritual DNA. You walk now as someone heaven trusts. That's a status no title can buy. Look around, chosen one. Feel the peace that has replaced striving. Feel the gratitude that hums under your breath. That's the proof that you've crossed into divine timing. You no longer chase what's next. You live in what's promised. Everything about you vibrates with the certainty of someone who has finally stepped into rhythm with the divine. The old doors won't tempt you anymore because you've seen what obedience builds. The wrong energies can't pull you back because your spirit no longer speaks their language. You've ascended quietly and completely, and now heaven is rewarding you openly for everything you endured privately. This is your confirmation. You didn't miss it, you didn't waste it, and you didn't wait in vain. You obeyed when it cost you everything, and now God is returning everything in a form you could never have imagined. Your reward isn't just arriving, it's already here. Every breath of peace, every moment of clarity, every new door opening effortlessly, this is heaven's way of saying, "Well done, faithful one." You heard me and you moved. So lift your head, breathe deeply, walk into this new season with humility and confidence. Because when obedience meets divine timing, the impossible becomes your everyday reality. You are living proof that heaven remembers. And from this moment on, you won't need to chase favor. Favor will follow you.